Hi crafters, this is Raquel from Paintsandglitter coming along with a special project for scrapbookpal.com. I am using today the items from the Pinkfresh Studio collection called Keepsakes of the Heart. You can get a stamp set with this collection, a letterpress system, and coordinating stencils and dies, and this is absolutely darling. Let me show you the images. There are these florals with different leaves, eucalyptus-like leaves there, and very delicate, beautiful greenery. Also, the sentiments are absolutely darling. These say, "You are treasured, you're the perfect mix of kindness and grace, filled with gratitude for your friendship. Friends are the keepsakes of the heart, and here's to filling life with beauty and joy." So what I've done is that I've used the items from the letterpress together with my Spellbinders Platinum system. You can press these onto watercolor card or any thick type of cardstock, and that's what I've done. Also, I've used the stencils included, and I'm going to share with you what those look like. They're super easy to use, as well as the dies, of course. So if you want to see the process of how to use the stencils and the letterpress system, be sure to watch my tutorial or the blog post that I have over at scrapbookpal.com. But today I'm going to share with you how I'm going to assemble a couple of cards, and what I've used for them is also this dotted fancy frames, also from Pinkfresh Studio. I had picked this up a little while ago and I had yet to use it. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to put two cards together, and the first one has a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch base. So that is a top folding base here, and it's super simple. Of course, 300 GSM card is what I recommend for this. And with a larger die, layering die from that one frame set, I've cut this piece out, but I am going to actually cut the little portions here on the edges here. And this I've cut out of vellum, as you can tell. So it's up to you whether to leave a die cut as it is, or you can always alter them. And that's what I'm going to be sharing in both of the cards today, actually. So here is this foundation, and it's just going to be delicate and soft. I'm simply going to put a little bit of adhesive in the center and place this right on the front of the card. Okay, so just to give it a softer background, I'm also going to take, before I forget, a little bit of ink, and I suppose I should have done that first, but that's okay. I'm going to take a little bit of ink from Pinkfresh Studio in the color Sky Blue, and you can do this on a sticky mat or anything else if you'd like to, but I'm just grabbing one of the larger brushes you can get from Pinkfresh Studio, and I'm going to visit the edges of this card here just very lightly. It doesn't have to color anything else. It's just to give it a little bit of a pop of color there on the edges. And these brushes are quite delicate, so I really like the way that they dissipate the color. I think that's how you say that in English. I'm going to say it in Spanish. Difuminan el color muy bonito. So you can learn a little Spanish while you're here if you like. Blend. I think the word is blend. I like the way they blend. So this collection is new from Pinkfresh Studio, so if you're not familiar with it, there are some other items that are from the current release, and they're always gorgeous. The other thing is that they come so nicely packaged, you even get magnets with your collections, and I think that's fabulous. Okay, once I have that there, I have yet another layer here. I've cut it out using that same frame die set, and that's going to go right on top. And I'm just using some buttermilk yellow paper. If you're interested in any of the supplies today, I'll have them all linked below. With my affiliate links, they allow me a little bit of commission for any purchases that you make, but the prices for you will not differ. Here, using yet another layer, what I've done is that I use one of the stencils, and what's really neat about these, and I'll show you. So here's what's really neat. They're going to coordinate, of course, with the flowers and the leaves, as you see there. And then some of them will allow you to add even more detail. So maybe you can see a tiny bit there. It's a little bit hard to show in the video, but some of these, here we go, are a little more detailed. So you see that stencil 4, and what that does is it will allow you to add, for instance, the shadow on the floral portion of this image. And here is another one. How beautiful are those, right? So those you color with these stencils here, and it makes it super duper easy to just follow along the lines because these will all press at once. So the positioning of this flower is always going to be the same versus this flower, which will always be the same, etc., etc. So you just position this on top of your papers, you add the ink colors that you wish, and then you switch out, use another stencil, so on and so forth. However, this stencil here, which you can use for this little plant, and I think it goes like this. So this one would coordinate with some of the leaves here, as you can tell, but I've used it on its own, just on this piece of watercolor card, and then visited that with some lemon whip ink, as you see here. Gave me that beautiful background. And I'll be showing you some other samples so you can see how darling these all play together. Now with the sentiments, you also get coordinating dies. So what I've done here is I've cut it out twice. Once with the pressed image there. So it says "You are treasured." The second one I cut just out of that yellow cardstock to layer. So I'll do that really quickly. It'll just create a little bit of a drop shadow. And that is as simple as that. You just make it a little topsy-turvy. You can of course cut it in half if you'd like to, but I'm just going to leave it as that. And then here is the little jar. So with that group of stencils, there's one that will allow you to color this as a singular image. Then there is the coordinating stencil. So with the stencil here, you can simply color the entire image out of whichever paper you're using. With the second coordinating stencil, you'll place that right on top of the same image, and you'll be able to color in all of those beautiful details and also a little cap for it. So if you want to just have closed bottles, then you can definitely do that. I die cut mine, but I'll only be using this portion here right now. And I've used heavyweight watercolor card for all of these so that I can have a nice substantial finish, and also use the coordinating inks to my preference. So that's going to be nice and subtle there. I'll be adding this on top, and I'll be using some foam squares that you can find at scrapbookpal. These come in different sizes, and the packaging even tells you the actual size of what you'll see inside, which I think is really great. I'm going to hold that there for a second. And I'm going to place some smaller ones on the back of this flower. If you have long nails, just use tweezers. Okay, it makes life a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere this right on the back here. I do want this as my frontmost image. Makes it a little bit easier. That's why I had not adhered that yet. And then I'm going to accommodate this one a little bit taller here. So that way I can press my little adhesive dots or squares. A little bit of paper surgery there, but alright, so now that I've positioned my little plants, I have them in the jar, exactly where I want them. Now I can place this on the front of my card. So now I can visit all of this with a little bit of adhesive. Use my tweezers to help me. I'm just going to place this right here. It's going to be a nice delicate card. And lastly, I can add my sentiment, which seems to have traveled a little bit. So, don't know why that happened. I'm going to fix it. And once you have the placement as you like, then you can place this right on top. And just that little bit of a shadow, I think, makes a difference. I really like the way that that looks. I'm not going to add any more dimension to this. I'm simply going to place this here. There's plenty of texture on that paper also, and I really like that. The texture is actually from my cutting plates, so it embossed the paper inadvertently, but I kind of like it. So there's that one card. There's also little gems that you can get from Pinkfresh Studio. I happen to have some here, and these come in a variety of different looks or colors. So I'm going to pick a few of these and add them here. I think I'm going to revisit this a tiny bit with that blue ink just on that edge. I feel like it needs a little bit more color. I think I'm happy with that. Now another thing, of course, you can do, if you like, is add a tiny bit more shine. I'm using a glitter gloss pen. This is from Nuvo, and you can find this as well on the Scrapbook Pal page. And just add a little shine here and there to some of these, and also this glass bottle by highlighting certain areas. Makes it super easy, and I can also use this on just the edge of this watercolor card here. And what I like about this is that because it doesn't have color, it comes across as very subtle. Just a little wash of glimmer there. So that completes my first card. I'm going to make one more. This one is going to be a little bit more elaborate, but I think still quite easy. So I do have a foundation that is 4 inches by 5.5, and this is 300 GSM white cardstock that I've cut down. I also have a piece of acetate. This measures 6 inches by 4 inches. So on the 6-inch side, I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch, just to give myself a full line here that I can use to adhere this onto my card base. Once I have this folded, I am going to burnish this score line. And now this has a protective cover on it. I am going to remove that. Here we go. Okay. Once you fold and burnish your acetate nicely and you have that fold, you can open it and apply some double-sided adhesive here. I'll be applying 2 strips because it is 1/4 inch wide. Hold these 2 pieces together and then fold this over so that it meets the back of the card. And then I'll burnish that. So if you want to, you can cut another strip of card and place it on top of this to hide that adhesive. So here's the front of our card. Using the dotted fancy frames, I went ahead and cut some yellow cardstock and also cardstock that I had colored using those Better Press plates and the coordinating stencils. So I have 2 here. So this is split in half. As you can tell there, this one was the same way. I simply colored those and cut them right down the middle. And I did use 300 GSM watercolor card for these pieces as well. And these are just going to match perfectly here. Now, because I'll be adhering these to the front of the card, I went ahead and cut one more frame using the same large dotted die there. And these are just simply out of white cardstock, nothing special there, but they're going to match the back. So that way they cover up the back of the die cut that'll be on the front of the card, and it'll give it a nice finished look. So I'm going to use this double-sided adhesive to apply these as well. I'm going to have this piece face the top of the card. So I'm going to have it meet the top edge. And I'm going to do the same with what will be the bottom of the front. So I'm making sure to line this up as exactly as I can. Precisely as I can. I think I used the wrong word there. Okay, so I now have something that looks like this. pretty all on its own, but I'm going to flip it over, and this is why I cut the white card, was to cover up those lines. Of course, you can add more adhesive if you'd like to. You can even stamp this inner portion if you'd like. I'm going to add my remaining pieces here. So here's one little jar that I had cut out, and here are some little pieces of greenery. So I'll be adding this to the front to make sure I get a really high tack on all of these elements. There we go. This is how I wanted that. Place that right in the front and center of this card. And I'm now going to flip this over. I've cut a second little jar and applied double-sided adhesive to it as well. And I'm going to be applying this to the inside of the card to match up the back of that previous jar. This will give it a nice finish on the inside. And you can still see the little greenery there. If you'd like to, you can match it up with pieces of vellum, or just go ahead and cut down one and adhere it right on top if you'd like. But this is the front of the card so far. And lastly, I want to add the little sentiment here, which says, "Here's to filling life with beauty and joy." I'm going to center that right on top of that little jar. I've also added a little drop shadow to this using craft card behind the sentiment. And I'm going to have to hold that down for a moment. And up here, so that I don't have too much movement, I'm actually now going to apply the adhesive on the fronds here to ensure that this dries more flat. Lastly, I'm going to add some little gems here and there, add a little bit more interest to this. And I am using the Pixie Dust color gems from Pinkfresh Studio. Okay, this completes my third card, and I say third because I've also made another one, which I'll show you, and that looks like this. So if you want to see how I made this particular card, please head on over to scrapbookpal.com. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like this type of content, and use the links below if you'd like to get your hands on any one of these items. I have absolutely enjoyed working with these. I think Pinkfresh Studio is one of the top-notch card making companies out there. The supplies are just absolutely gorgeous, and as you can see, you can create very simple cards or a little bit more elaborate, but it's up to you how much you do with them, and everything coordinates absolutely beautifully. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to read them, and if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out. But I do hope that you can be inspired and be blessed, and I thank you so much for watching.